All right, so today we're looking at, this is actually an extension for our grade 9 AP prep course. So this is called a dichotomous key. So you'll see this come up again if you continue in grade 11 biology. So dichotomous key is essentially a way that we can put different living things into specific categories. So that can be based on the type of species that it is. And it's done based on qualitative observations, okay, typically. Sometimes you might see quantitative, like, for example, if an animal has 4 legs versus 2 legs. But I'd say majority of them are based on visuals. So for example, right, let's say we were going into a forest ecosystem. Like, what is this dichotomous key used for? So it's used to essentially identify different species. So biologists will use dichotomous keys when they're going into a new ecosystem that they haven't visited before. They'll make note of different things that are in that area, so different living things, and then identify what type of species they are based upon what they observe. So usually, what are some things you're looking at? So let's say we're talking about trees. So they might make note of, where is the tree growing? How tall is the tree? How wide is the trunk? What type of shape is the tree taking on? What do the leaves look like or the needles look like? So there's lots of different things that you can look at when we're discussing species. So first, you kind of want to just make note of what you're identifying. Secondly, you're going to look for any distinguishing features. So we mentioned a few of those already. So you may want to look at, what is the color of the bark? What's the texture of the bark? Does it have fruit or does it have flowers that are growing on it? Are there leaves or needles? What are the patterns? How are they arranged? How many needles or leaves are on each stem from the tree? Does it make sap or no sap? Does it have a smell? What type of insects are living on the tree? There are a whole bunch of different things that you can interpret when you're looking just at a tree. So what can we use this for? Okay, well, you can figure out, am I looking at a pine tree? Am I looking at an oak tree? Is this a walnut tree? You can really see the type of tree it is depending on these distinguishing features. So this next slide will show you what a dichotomous key is. So here's a dichotomous key for different tree leaves that I want to show you. So the dichotomous key allows you to basically interpret the type of species we have. So we're going to go through this one together, and then I have kind of a funsy one that I'm going to have you try, okay? So let's take a look. So here we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different types of trees, right? So this is how a dichotomous key works. You always start with number 1. Okay, you never start somewhere in the middle or at the end. You start with number 1. So let's use one of these to identify them. So let's start with A. Okay, so you're going to start asking yourself, okay, well, is A needle leaf or not a needle leaf? And then if you follow along, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Let me get my eraser. So then if you follow along, hold on, I just want to pick a different color. Sure. Okay. So then you're going to follow along, right? So let's do A. So A is a non-needle leaf. So then it tells you where to go, what number to jump to. So we're going to then go to number 3. So we're going to ask ourselves, is it a simple leaf, like a single leaf? Or is it a compound leaf that has a bunch of little leaves on it? So we can see A is a single leaf. So then it tells us, go to number 4. So number 4 says, is it a smooth edge or is it a jagged edge? So we can see here it's a smooth edge. So it says now go to number 5. The leaf edge is smooth or the leaf edge is lobed. Because we can see here that it's smooth. I'll show you an example. This is a lobed one. So you can see that it's kind of going in and out. So A would be a smooth edge. So what that means is this is a magnolia. Okay, so then you start all over again. So we would then you always start from number 1, like I said. Okay, number 1. And then we would do the same thing for B, C, D, E, F, G, and H. So let's do the next one. So B, it's a non-needle leaf, which means we're going to go to number 3, right? Is it a single leaf or a compound leaf? So this one's actually a bunch of little leaves. So it's a compound. So we're going to jump to number 7. So number 7 says leaflets attached at one single point, or the leaflets are attached at multiple points. So what they're talking about is all these little leaves, we can see that they're actually attached at a bunch of different points, right? So we actually have quite a few points. So that means that B is walnut, right? So then we do the same thing. You start over again. And you start with C, D, E, F, G, and then H. So actually, pause the video and try doing the rest of these. So C, D, E, F, G, and H. So you start with number 1 again and continue forward. So